welcome back to Thislovelystitch. My name is Olivia, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing my January podcast. So pretty much my podcast, I just go through like what I've enjoyed this month, the things I'm making, and what my plans are for next month. Just pretty much like we're on FaceTime. So I am working right now, I guess I should say what I'm working on. A skirt for my friend. It's using filet crochet stitches. So definitely a longer project, but good project to work on during the video because I'm in, at least the section I'm in right now is very much like repetitive, the same thing over and over again. So it's something, a good multitasking type of project. So to get started, let's talk about my finished projects. I have my notes right here, so I make sure I don't leave out any projects or products or any information. So my finished projects for this month I would say was somewhat productive. I really was busy because I was going back to school. I started the spring semester. So not a ton of finished projects. I only have 3. So I did the Snap Sparkle Pop poncho, and that was a self-drafted design. And then I also did a blue sweater vest, which was crochet. The poncho was also crochet. And a purple scarf, which I knit. All of these actually, now that I think about it, I wrote the pattern, or freehanded I should say, all 3 of those. So yeah, that's something interesting. I didn't knit or crochet from any like pre-existing patterns or anything like that. So that is what I finished this month. But I did actually do a lot of other things. I finished up some of those finished projects were projects that I was finishing, like the blue vest and the purple scarf were both WIPS from 2025. So I have a whole video on my channel of finishing both in 28 hours, just so I could kind of start the new year off fresh and have space for more new projects. So moving on to the next category, I have new purchases. So I actually got a good handful of things this month. I had a couple gift cards from 2025, like from Christmas. So let me actually get that back to show you what I got. So you can already kind of see, I got this, ooh, camera shut. Okay, I got this huge ball of Big Twist yarn. This is Value Pound Plus. So I got this, and I'll go into what all this stuff is for when I get to the projects I'm making next month. So I got that, and I also got Lion Brand Pound of Love, and oh, let me see what colors I got them in. I got, this is in cherry, and this is in all right, one second, where's the name for this? Or maybe they don't have colors. Oh wait, no, it doesn't have color. This is olive drab. So these 2 huge 1-pound balls of yarn, not making a Christmas project, although I do realize now holding them up that these are kind of like Christmassy colors, but not making a Christmas project. Just an ironic something that just happened to happen. Okay, let me organize myself. Next, I have some hot glue sticks because I just ran out for my hot glue gun. I have some lace that I got for this project that I'm working up. This is a yard of lace. I got this, it was in the clearance bin at Michael's, so I don't really know what lace it is, but I do know that it's a yard. Then I got these red seed beads, or yeah, these are check seed beads. Let me try to bring it a little bit closer. So I got that. And last thing, I got this red velvet yarn. So a lot of things. I am trying to get less crafty stuff this year, but this is actually a gift card I think I've had since 2024 because I got a notification from my Michaels app that it was going to expire at the end of February. And I already kind of knew what I was going to be making in February and the end of January, so I just went ahead and got some yarn. So those are the new things I got. Some other new things that I got that I wasn't able to find when I went and got those things. I also got a red, oh wait, no. I also got sewing needles, not like the tapestry needles, just like the sharp sewing needles. So I got that. That's currently in a project that I'm working on, but it's in like my college's art studio, so I can't show that right now. And then this is pink, but I didn't get this month, but I got a ball of this type of yarn in black. So I got that too. That's also in the studio. So yeah, those are the new purchases I got. I do think next month we'll have hopefully no purchases. I'm really trying to do a very, very low buy of projects this year, and I do have some like scrappy projects that I want to make, and I have one more WIP from 2025 that I'm working on finishing off. So I think February will be definitely more out than in. So yeah, speaking of February, some of my goals for February are to crochet a tapestry. That's one of my broader goals for 2026. Almost at 2025. For 2026, one of my broader goals is to crochet tapestries. So starting on that goal early on. But yes, I want to crochet tapestry. I'm not sure 100% what tapestry I want to make, but I have a whole Pinterest board saved on Pinterest of like different things I want to make, different tapestries that I like. So I'll probably look in my stash and then see what stuff will work well, like what tapestry colors I already have. Sorry, my iPad is being funny. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is to end the month with a max of 1 WIP. No WIPs will be great, but just giving myself a little wiggle room, I'll say 1 WIP. I right now currently have 2 WIPs, this skirt that I'm working on, and then that bag from my 2025 WIP video. So I don't have a lot. I used to be someone who would have like 10, 15 WIPs at a time. So there's definitely progress happening in my crafting practices, but there can always be improvement even with progress. So my goal is 1 WIP for the end of February. And then my last goal for February is to have a finished object that is knit and one that is crochet. One thing I really enjoyed crafting wise this month was having a crochet and a knit project to work on, because usually I get into these, not ruts I'll say, but like kind of obsessions where I'll only be crocheting for such a long time or only be knitting. And crochet and knitting are really are versatile crafts where it's not like knitting is only for the winter and fall and crochet is only for the spring and summer. So I want to make sure I don't fall into that trap and crochet and knit equally. That way I can really develop skills in both crafts. So that is a goal I have for February. Moving on to some of my upcoming projects. My first, well, in no particular order actually. First project that I'll talk about is I want to crochet a doily. I've seen so many cute doily patterns and pictures for Valentine's Day, and actually in my knit, or maybe it was crochet, in one of my roundups of like free patterns, I did include a doily pattern that I'm considering making. So yeah, my goal is, I think I should have some extra thread weight yarn after finishing the skirt, and just to show you, I'm holding like 3 threads together. So these are the 3 threads. I think I'll have enough left over between these 3 colors to make a doily. So that way, you know, can stick with not buying a bunch more yarn. So that's the first goal I have. Next goal, I want to make an XOXO garland, kind of like what you see on those conversation hearts, to go on this like back window beside my bed. So that's next project. Third project I want to make is a hopeless romantics tapestry. Excuse me. So I'll put a picture here of like the tapestry, but it's just a pattern that I saw on Stitch Fiddle, and I think it'll be really cool to recreate. So that is also part of my plans. And then I also want to freehand a corset to see Wuthering Heights. I'm so excited to see that movie. I'll talk about movies that I saw this month, but I saw the trailer for it in the theaters for Wuthering Heights, and I think it will be such a fun movie to see. I love like romance. Well, it's not a rom-com, but I love like romance movies and just stuff. Right now I'm watching Bridgerton, so I mean, it's not Bridgerton, but it is a period piece and like a movie that it looks so interesting. And I like Jacob Elordi as an actor, so that's another reason. And Greta Gerwig, like there's so many good reasons. I'm excited to see it. And I'm probably gonna go see it with some friends too. So definitely want to crochet a corset to kind of go over like a dress shirt that I have, or just like a plain white t-shirt to see the movie. So yeah, next is heart clips for Hobie. This is also part of my like projects that I want to make in 2026. So pretty much I'm going to crochet a bunch of heart motifs, and I actually already have a tutorial for that on my channel. You can see it here. But I want to crochet a bunch of heart motifs and then hot glue them onto these clothespins, because it's a tradition at Hobie, which is, Hobie stands for Hugh O'Brien Youth, that we give each other like little pins that have encouraging messages, or like say the year of the seminar. So this year it will be Hobie 2026. So yeah, that's something I want to do, and I did buy the hot glue gun sticks for that project, so I'm all ready to make it. So yeah, definitely want to make that. And let me say some more about Hugh O'Brien Youth. I think I just kind of, I'm so used to being a volunteer and being in like that world that I just say Hobie, and I realize like people don't know what that means. So Hobie stands for Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Seminar, and pretty much it's this nonprofit, and they hold these leadership seminars for 10th grade students, so sophomores, for I guess people who are outside the US, and it's international too, but every state in the US has a chapter except Hawaii, I think. But I think Hawaii may have a chapter now, so I don't know. But almost every state, or every state, has a chapter. And in addition to like that, there's also international like country chapters. So you go, pretty much, I went as a sophomore in high school. They teach you about leadership, you make friends. It's kind of like a 3-day leadership summer camp for high schoolers. But yeah, I had a great experience. It was super fun. But yeah, if you are a high schooler, a sophomore, or you know someone who's a sophomore high schooler who you think would be great or interested in this, they do have community nominations, so you can nominate someone from your community, someone you know, or you can just encourage them to look into it. A lot of schools will send students. That's how I went. My school had like a free, not a voucher, I'm not sure. They had money and they sent me for free. So a lot of schools also are affiliated with or support Hobie. So anyway, that's enough about Hobie, but I plan on making a bunch of heart clips for this seminar this summer. Next is I want to do a whimsical upcycle of one of my school binders. Usually I like to match all my school supplies and have it be kind of like the same color as my computer case. So I wanted it to be light blue because that's the case for my iPad. Let's see, I have my iPad right here. This is my iPad case. But they didn't have any more light blue binders because that's kind of very similar to the color for our school, so everyone bought all of them. And I really needed the binder because it was like a loose leaf of hundreds of pages for a textbook. So I caved and I bought the green binder. But since I bought kind of what I consider to be an ugly green, like gross color binder, I want to like bedazzle it, upcycle it somehow. Maybe I'll attach some buttons. There's this girl on, I think she's on TikTok and on Instagram, who's doing like a button every day. So I don't know if I can commit to doing every day, but I think doing something like upcycling with buttons would be so cute, especially for something school supplies like that I'm actually using every day. So yeah, that is another project. And the last project I want to make in February is a flower blanket. So if anyone has seen those bouquet blankets that are like all over Instagram and YouTube and whatnot, I'll put a photo here. I want to make one, but I want to make one that's more intricate and just more me, for lack of better words. So I am going to freehand one, and I'll probably write a pattern eventually. But that's what that green yarn from Michael's was for. So yeah, that is a last project. It may seem very ambitious because like I only finished 3 things. Yeah, 3 things this year, or not this year, this month. And February is a short month, but I do think I really can finish these things, especially because we have some days off school. Like we have Founders Day, some days where my professors have like already canceled classes. And just with my class schedule this semester, I do have a lot more in between time and free time because most of my assignments are just essays. So a lot of the time I just like sit. I have like 3 or 4 study days a week where I just sit and all I do is write all day. So I am getting my work done a lot faster, not just like fast to be fast, but quality wise. I know what I'm doing now that this is my 2nd semester. So getting a little bit more free time is always nice, and I have lots of crafts to fill up that free time. So yeah, on to current WIPs. I think I already kind of talked about this. It's just a skirt and then the analog bag that I'm making from that video of finishing my 2025 WIPs. So yeah, not too much exciting there. Patterns that I am working on. I am working on a pattern for this skirt, so that will be out in February, along with the analog bag, which is the bag from my video about finishing my 2025 WIPs. So I'll also have a pattern for that out in definitely in 2026, but in February. So those are the 2 patterns I'm aiming to get out for February. I can't say now though whether that's going to be late February, definitely not early February, but it'll be out in February. That's what's important. Okay, what else do I have to talk about? There's so much going on. Okay, we can talk about some things happening in the crafting community. So I wouldn't say I'm a yarn snob, but I'm constantly looking at new yarns, even though I'm trying not to buy new yarns unless I actually use what I have. I think it's very unrealistic, but it would be a dream come true if I could finish college, like finish this semester, this first year off at Spelman, and not have any more yarn in my room because I used all of it for projects that I actually like, or projects that I like made with the intention of donating. So unrealistic, but that's the end goal for next year. So, or next school year, I should say. But that being said, I do track new yarns that come out because I'm just interested, and I love crafting and yarn almost equally. So Karen, the Karen Cloud Cakes, they're being discontinued. I never actually tried this yarn, and I definitely had to stop myself from going and buying it because it's like, I don't have a project that I want to make with it, and it's being discontinued. So even if I do think of a project eventually, I won't be able to get more of that yarn without paying like a ton of money on eBay or like not secondhand resellers. So just an overall view, if you are a Karen Cloud Cakes lover and this news is shocking to you, they are being discontinued. It's already discontinued on Yarnspirations, but you can get it at Michael's still. My Michael's had a ton. I didn't even know this was discontinued until I saw, when I was like researching for another video, I saw on Yarnspirations that they didn't have anymore, and then dug a little bit deeper. But it is still, at least in Atlanta where I'm at, it's still alive and well. And even on the Michael's website, you can still order all of the colors. I don't think any of them are sold out yet. So if you love cloud cakes, strike while the iron is hot. Get it now before everyone else realizes that it's going to be discontinued. So yeah, just a little overview on like what the yarn is. It's a fluffy worsted yarn. I'm pretty sure it's 100% polyester. If not, it's like a polyester acrylic mix. And it comes in 23 colors. And it's like a very variegated color, so they're not solid. It comes in like an ombre, but I think they're really pretty. I just don't know what I would make with it because like crochet, I feel like personally it would be too hard to see the stitches, and I just haven't seen something knit-wise that I want to make with it. But it is a really pretty yarn, and I've seen people make cardigans, a lot of sweaters with it too. So if you love the yarn, get it now. What else? Okay, so Big Twist Chenille is being, they're like releasing some of the Big Twist Chenilles at Michael's under different names. So unfortunately, I was not a huge Joann's or chenille person, Big Twist person before they closed. So I don't know enough to say like what Big Twist chenille style yarn this Michael's version is trying to be, but they're there. So if you are someone who loved the Big Twist chenille options, Michael's is definitely expanding their chenille options, and they actually do have a Big Twist yarn that is like Big Twist, the actual label. Like, I don't know if when I showed you, I had a Big Twist yarn, and it wasn't like a dupe or whatever. It actually was Big Twist. If you guys don't know, Michael's did, I think they acquired or bought or something. They have Big Twist yarn now in limited quantities and like not the whole line. So they have one of the Big Twist chenille type yarns that they've brought over from Joann's. So don't know if it's good or not. I'm not a really chenille person. Most of the stuff I make is garments and accessories. But if you are, maybe it's worth a try. Comment down below and tell me if I should try Big Twist chenille at Michael's. Speaking about chenille, Premier is launching cone yarn for chenille. So I've seen cone yarn a lot, where it's like a ton of yarn just on this like big spool. But usually I see it with like fingering weight yarn. I see it like with, well, I guess as an American, Premier isn't national, but I see it like with like European countries. I really don't see it, or like local yarn stores. I don't see it in like big box kind of very accessible craft stores. But Premier is launching online a cone of their chenille yarn. So their chenille, I'm pretty sure it's called Just Chenille. Yeah, that's what I have it in as my notes, Just Chenille. And it's pretty much the equivalent of 20 balls of their regular size chenille yarn. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good deal, especially right now. It's on sale for $20. Normally though, without the sale, it would be $24.99. And it's currently, like, they currently have it in 25 different colors, though I think they may be adding more because I saw 26, but I may have miscounted. So 25 as of right now. And it's the same as buying 20 individual skeins, which I didn't do I wasn't able to really do the math on that because the measurements, conversions, whatever, and it's not like very easy to see all their chenille yarns. But if that is true, that is a good deal if you are someone who uses a lot of chenille. The yarn is 100% polyester and it's bulky weight, so weight 5. The yardage for the cone is 1,200 meters or 1,312 yards. So you're definitely getting good yardage there, especially with it being bulky. So yeah, definitely something to look into if you use a lot of Premier Chenille and you know you really want to stock up. This may be a good way to do so. Next in news, Passionate Kelsey got married. So, you know, this is kind of more like, I don't know, gossipy, not directly crafty related, but for those of you who don't know, Passionate Kelsey is a big knit and crochet small business owner and content creator here on YouTube. She's also on Instagram and TikTok, but YouTube I think is like her main platform, at least where I follow her. So yeah, she bought a house like fairly recently, like a month, not a month or two, maybe a couple months ago, and she kind of had a hard launch in her last few videos, that she and her boyfriend Caesar, that they are engaged. So that is definitely exciting. I love watching her videos, and she definitely was an inspiration for me to make my own crochet knitting YouTube channel. So yeah, happy that she looks happy. So yeah, and then the last kind of drama, this is maybe a more personal gripe for this month, is that the Pantone color of the year was white. Now the color, like the exact name, is called Cloud Dancer, but, and I'll put a picture of the swatch here. To me, that color is white, no matter what you call it. And I don't know, I just feel like a year, especially now, we're seeing like whimsy is such a big trend where we're having like very soft, very pastel colors. Everything's very colorful though. That white was the color of the year. It's just like it's just so boring. And like, I don't know, from a paint brand company, like the whole reason, like the real reason they have these colors of the year is to encourage people to buy paint and repaint rooms and whatever. So like, are most rooms and houses not white when you buy them? Why would you need to get a color of white? Like, it just doesn't make sense from a business perspective. As an economics major, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, if the whole purpose of this whole color of the year campaign is to get people to buy paint, why would we choose white as a color? A color that the walls are naturally in a house before you ever paint anything. So that is my little rant. I think that was like my minute rant about the color of the year. That is not my color of the year, 100% not. So I think, I don't know what my color of the year would be if I was in charge of this, but it would not be white. So that's the last of the drama. Switching over from like directly crafty stuff to more of my like personal life and updates, just some things that I've been like consuming this month and that I've liked. We'll start off with books that I've read. I read 3 books this month. I read The Housemaid is Watching by Frida McFadden, The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, and The Surrogate Mother by Frida McFadden. So if you notice a trend there, I'm really into Frida McFadden, this month, and just in general, I love her books. I started off with The Housemaid, and then The Housemaid is Watching is the second book in the series, and The Surrogate Mother is not part of that series, it's just another book by her. But yeah, I love her. I think she is like the Jodi Picoult for thrillers. So yeah, just like a quick synopsis of what the books were about. The Housemaid is Watching is about, and this is all spoiler free, this woman Millie who's getting out of prison, for manslaughter. She's been in prison for 10 years, and she gets this job as a housemaid for this really weird but like super rich kind of haughty family. And the wife is like acting very strange, like something's not right in the household. So it's kind of about her experience there. That's all I can say without spoiling it. Very good, very, very good book. Housemaid is Watching is the second book in the series. Not gonna spoil anything. The Surrogate Mother, not in that series, separate. That book is also really good without giving any spoilers. It's about this woman, this couple who really wants to get pregnant and have a kid, and they can't because of, infertility issues. And after an adoption falls through, they end up through like events getting the woman's assistant to be a surrogate for the baby. And then the book is just kind of what happens after that. So very, very interesting. I really like the first chapter because it really sets things up and it makes you like think and like wait, like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? It's kind of like The White Lotus, where like, kind of what's gonna happen. Like the book starts off saying like she's on trial for murder, the main protagonist, but you don't know the details surrounding it. You don't know if she did or not. It's very good. So yeah, that is The Surrogate Mother by Frida McFadden. Next, moving on to shows. I've really been watching like 3 shows this month. The first main show that I've been watching is Bridgerton. I've just gotten on the Bridgerton train, so I'm definitely late to it. But I started watching season 1. I like it so far. I don't know. It's something I had to take in like short bursts. It's not super like, Doesn't super catch my attention, but it's good every now and again, and I do want to watch the new season, so I'm trying to catch up slowly but surely. So yeah, Bridgerton. I've also been watching The White Lotus. I watched season 1 when it first came out, but just kind of fell off of watching the subsequent seasons. So now I am currently watching season 2. Also like that. For those of you who don't know, The White Lotus is about, like every season pretty much is set at a resort that's like part of this White Lotus chain. And the series starts off every season with like someone's been murdered, but you don't know who's been murdered and how or why, like all the details. And then the show pretty much works backwards from that moment to explain what happened and why. So that's White Lotus. And then a classic oldie but a goodie, I'm watching Survivor. I used to watch Survivor all the time with my parents and like my brothers and whatnot. And then we kind of just fell off of it during COVID. But when I was home at winter break, I watched Survivor 44 with my family, and that was great. Currently, I think the most recent season to air was season 49, and then season 50 comes out in February. So definitely behind, but right now I'm still currently watching season 45, so no spoilers, but season 45 is what I'm currently on. But yeah, watching Survivor, love that show. For those of you who don't know, sorry, 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Survivor is a show where a certain amount of contestants, I think it's 28 now, but sometimes it varies a little bit. A certain amount of contestants are put on this island in Fiji, in tribes first, where they have to like work together to win challenges and win food, like they're starving out there, whatever. And every week, the tribe that loses the immunity challenge has to vote someone from their tribe off, majority rules. And then eventually, once, like, as each week less and less people are there, you get the merge where instead of having separate tribes, there's just one big tribe. And then they continue voting each other off, but in the merge, like merge moving forward, whoever gets voted off becomes part of the jury. And when there's only 2 or 3 players left, everyone who's on the jury, so like everyone you voted off for most of the game, has to vote who should win $1 million. So that's as fast as and as simple as I can explain Survivor, but it's a reality show, kind of like a game show. Very, very good. I encourage you to go watch it. I love the show. And, you know, I think I just need to be back home and watch it with my family to remember why and how much I love the show. So yeah, that is the show I've been watching. Movies was pretty dry this month. The only movie I watched was The Housemaid. I watched that in theaters. So good. I'm trying to think about who the main 2 actresses were. It was Amanda Seyfried and what's her name? Sydney Sweeney. That was the other main actor. Very good. Same as the Housemaid books. I already kind of talked about that. So yeah. And then just some events in my life. Side quests, if you will. I was reunited with my campus cat. I love this cat. I've named the cat Theodora. The cat's real name is Claro. It is a boy, but I didn't know that when I named it Theodora, and now it's just stuck. My friend calls the cat Coochie. I refuse to call the cat that because that is a silly name for a cat, especially a male cat, but I digress. Reunited with my campus cat, just saw it walking around and gave it some croutons. That cat is the reason I always have like croutons and saltines in my coat pockets and like little baggies in case I see it. But yeah, love that cat. Saw it again. I'm glad it is still here and campus security hasn't caught it because they're constantly looking for it. What else happened? Oh, the inaugural blazer ceremony for Spelman happened. So this is the first year that Spelman first year students were given a blazer, and it has like the Spelman logo and all that. I'll put a picture in, but they're very cute. So they had a little ceremony just to kind of like start this new tradition, which was so sweet. And I really like my blazer and that they gave this to us. And then let's see. Oh, the winter storm. Definitely have to talk about that. So I am from Maryland, so when I hear winter storm, I am thinking inches, plural, of snow.
Ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Icy roads. Nothing is happening. Everything's closed. Transit is closed. That's definitely not what happens in the South. I would say this was the great winter overreaction. It did hail a little bit, but we were supposed to get 3 inches of snow, so the hail was not what I was expecting. But yep, the roads were a little bit icy, so we didn't have class on Monday, this past Monday, which was very nice. A good little 3-day weekend and break. right after MLK Day actually, so that was nice. But that being said, we did have class on Tuesday because there was no snow. So very interesting, you know, definitely different weather cultures being from Maryland and coming down south, or further down south. But yeah, for me, I know a lot of people are struggling and that there's a lot of people who are really having fallout from the storm. But for me, I was completely safe. You know, at no point did the electricity or power go out or anything crazy like that. It was just very run-of-the-mill every day, except we didn't have class for one day. So can't complain, can't complain. And then last thing, just like my general thoughts for spring semester. I don't know, I'm really optimistic. I'm on the newspaper for this semester, so I'm very excited to be doing that. But yeah, I'm pretty much just excited to try new classes. This semester, I'm taking the first class for my major. I'm taking Intro into U.S. National Government. So I'm very excited for what the future holds and just opportunities and whatnot. And excited to keep crafting and just enjoying my experience as a college student. So yeah, comment down below what things and what goals you have to make for 2026 in general and for February specifically, and comment what you want to read, watch, create in February, and just anything else you want to know about my personal life. I plan on doing these like little podcast episodes every month just to kind of give a quick, concrete summary of what's going on, because in the videos, a lot of the times I'm like running from here to there, just doing challenges or trying to finish stuff. And you don't really get to see just like the behind the scenes for what is going on. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I post videos every weekday, so I'll see you real soon. Bye.